Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Raw report for the 2nd of May. Can't believe we're already in May 2021. Yet again, and I say this every week, yet again, a show that doesn't belong on television. Yet again, a show that really, honestly, um, is marred by wasted talent, wasted time, and is way too long for its needs. There's good stuff every once in a while, but it's not really worth watching. So, footage from earlier today: MVP speaks with Adam Pearson, Sonya Deville. Pierce is going to flip a coin to decide Bobby Lashley's opponent. Yay! What a sports-like way to decide an opponent. Flip a coin. Anyway, Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman suddenly appear in the frame on opposite sides. They argue. Pierce and Deville calm them down. Strowman wins the toss and will face Lashley. And I honestly have to ask, other than a 10-year-old child, who cares about Braun Strowman? Not I, said Barry Rabbit. Anyway, AJ Styles and Almost segment. Styles and Almost enter as they pipe in some booing. New Day comes in. Styles says the fans must have missed them. He says they've been partying in Florida and the Caribbean. They have better things to do to toss tomatoes like the New Day. New Day interrupts. Styles says he likes their vests because they look like him. Kofi says he wasn't even sure he worked here anymore because of how much time they took off. Great inside dig. Kingston recalls winning the WWE title at WrestleMania. He calls it the biggest night of his life. And he called it a physically exhausting night. And then, even though he wasn't on the Raw roster at the time, he showed up the next night because that's the kind of guy he was. And then that's what New Day is all about. So then Almost was tired of hearing them and figured he didn't knock enough sense into them at Mania. Almost said he wouldn't be able to talk or walk tonight. Woods says they're about to become 12-time champions, which, remember when the tag team championships 2 or 3 times was considered a big deal? Do you remember when championship meant something? I do. Anyway, AJ Styles and Almost defeated Kingston and Xavier Woods to retain the tag team titles in just under 11 3/4 minutes. Styles tags Almost in right away. Almost then handled both guys pretty easily, tosses them around in that. They tried double team, knocked him down with a double clothesline. Styles high fives. Referee says it's tag. Styles then had to enter. Woods uses a schoolboy for near fall, and then New Day works over Styles. Use the Unicorn Stampede. And then Styles gives Kingston a Pele kick. Almost tags himself in. Styles stumbles into the corner. Almost shoves both guys down with ease. Almost gives Kingston a tree slam. Woods then kicks Almost. Almost just booted him down. Tags him in. Leaps off Almost's shoulders with a phenomenal forearm on Woods for the pinfall win. Adon Vink basically asks where Almost ranks amongst the greatest champions in history. And Corey Graves has to note that he's just barely getting started. They don't prepare these announcers, and it's really sad. There's an Eva Marie return video. She stands tall in front of a Ferrari, says she wanted to give back and told us to get ready for Evolution. This is a really bad idea. Caleb Braxton interviews Lashley and MVP. Lashley doesn't want to risk losing the championship without getting beaten in a triple threat match, or without getting beaten in the triple threat match, so he planned on taking out Strowman tonight. And then Elias and Jackson Riker hide behind the scenes. They hide behind equipment. They have tomatoes in hand to chuck at the New Day. They begin throwing the tomatoes at the camera, and the camera focused only on them. Camera pans back towards the New Day, revealed that they actually hit Randy Orton with the tomatoes. They look extremely dumb in this whole thing, and Matt Riddle zooms by and says hi to Randy Orton. Why is this like? Why is this even on television? I can't even imagine children watching these segments going, "Hey, I want to be like that guy someday." I really can't. Anyway, Charlotte Flair defeats Dana Brooke with Mandy Rose in just under 4.25 minutes. Brooke gets a little bit of offense in, including a senton for near fall. Charlotte wins easily with the figure eight lock. Charlotte wouldn't let go of the hold. Rose attacks her. DeVille enters, and then she comes back. They plug the Booker T biography. We open the second hour, so this is an hour of junk. Seriously. Anyway, with an exclusive interview with Drew McIntyre tonight. Anyway, DeVille and Charlotte go to the ring. Brooks and Rose are gone. DeVille claims herself an official. Pierce then wanted to give Charlotte a chance to speak. Charlotte reminds us that she beat Asuka and ended the streak and put Rhea Ripley on the map. Charlotte said nobody could tell her triple threat match at Mania Backlash with her against Ripley and Asuka wouldn't be the biggest match on the card. I actually agree with this. Anyway, she calls herself the original influencer of the women's division. She makes a comparison to Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. These are bad comparisons because, I don't know, they're pop culture icons, but do they really connect with your target audience? She rambles on longer before telling DeVille to put her in the title match at Backlash, and she wants DeVille to be fair to Flair. DeVille says the men were fighting in a triple threat match, so the women should too. What flawless, stupid logic. She adds that Charlotte is added to the women's match, and then Ripley interrupts. She calls this a complete load of junk. She then says that Charlotte wasn't in the match at Mania and nobody liked her. She accused DeVille of planning this since the beginning and bringing Charlotte back. And then Asuka interrupts. Asuka said this was junk and calls Charlotte a crybaby. Asuka didn't care because she beat them both up. Charlotte said they were thrown a curveball and suddenly lost it. Charlotte said she'd win the title. Ripley gets in DeVille's face. Charlotte takes a cheap shot. And then Asuka dances to her music to end the segment. What a horrible waste of time. How is this going to lead to, I want to see these three women fight? Now, I do want to see these three women fight on the basis of the fact of the fighting they've done before, both with each other and in 3 ways prior. I think they've done at least one. But the simple fact is, the writing is abysmal. I swear most of the writers have to use drugs, and the person approving it certainly does, because there's no way that they actually believe this belongs on national television. Anyway, Braxton interviews Carrillo. Carrillo knows what it's like to be bullied and let Sheamus disrespect him. Carrillo wasn't afraid of Sheamus, wants to answer the open challenge. Sheamus attacks him again, lays him out. This has to be the second or third time. Sheamus laughs and tells Carrillo that he's in no condition to answer the challenge tonight. Pierce confronts DeVille in the back regarding her decision and not consulting him. Tried to go to the higher authority. She claims she texted him, but the building must have poor reception. He reminds her that they share the same office. DeVille says they need to figure everything out, but agreed to consult him in the future. They awkwardly stare at each other for a few moments until the segment ends. Sooner or later, this will end in a romance storyline. I guarantee it. Anyway, Miz TV with Miz and Morrison. Miz complains about being hit with tomatoes. Again, reminds us of his accomplishments. Damian Priest comes out, and he enters again for a match with Morrison. They air Priest's promo from earlier today where he admits that Miz has a great career and it's cool to be in the ring with him at Mania. This is horrible. However, a guy with Miz's mouth wouldn't last 10 seconds where he's from. If Miz is bothered being hit with tomatoes, just imagine what'll happen when Priest breaks his jaw. Anyway, Damian Priest defeats John Morrison with The Miz in just under 9 minutes. Priest clotheslines Morrison out of the ring, leads to a break a minute into the match because we don't know where to put our breaks. Anyway, Morrison gains control during the break and uses a disaster kick. They go back and forth for a while. Priest gets the better of the exchange, hits a clothesline for near fall. Priest then goes to the top. Momentary distraction by Miz allows Morrison to hit a Spanish fly. For the near fall, Miz distracts the referee, but Morrison puts Priest in a small package. Miz jumps down from the apron. Morrison only gets 1 count. Priest comes back, hits the lights out for the pinfall win. And absolutely no one cares because it's a throwaway match. Oh, there's another one coming. Anyway, Manosaur signs a contract in the back with Pierce, welcomes him to Raw. Sheamus barges in, jokes about Carrillo. Sheamus notes that Mansoor is standing there and thought that maybe Pierce had a new intern. Mansoor informs him he's a Raw superstar. And Sheamus makes fun of this before suggesting he answers the non-title open challenge. Braxton interviews MVP again, complaining about some more with a triple threat match. Lashley wasn't there this time, but they do the same segment twice because we don't have enough talent or energy to get through a 3-hour show without repeating things. Speaking of wasted segments, Lucha House Party defeats Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. No entrances or anything shown. They just come back to a live match. Alexander and Benjamin dominant, but Dorado wipes out Alexander with a springboard. Grand Metalik gives Benjamin a rope-walk elbow drop for the pinfall win. They maybe went 4 minutes, something like that. Alexander grabs the mic. He says it's no wonder that MVP and Lashley kicked them out of the Hurt Business. He said they really must have wanted to kick Benjamin out, and they should have. Turned his backs on Benjamin first, and then he said Benjamin has left countless opportunities, slipped through their fingers for years, wondered how much time he had left. Alexander said he wasn't done with him, and I guess this is fine. I like the fact they're doing something with Cedric Alexander. I think this is a lame duck storyline, but that's all they know how to write. In the back, Drew Gulak asked Angel Garza who his friend, who his rose was for. Gulak thought it was funny. Garza's supposed to be a ladies' man considering he never scores. Roses smell bad. As his win-loss record, haha. Anyway, Gulak challenges him to a match tonight. Garza accepts, and he said he'd shove the rose where the sun doesn't shine. Gulak was understandably confused. They wish The Rock a happy birthday, and then because that's, they have a star that left them, and they're bitter about it. Anyway, Braxton comes up to Benjamin. Benjamin said survived long because he can take the hit. He has also seen countless wrestlers come and go, including guys like Alexander. In fact, it was Benjamin who saw something in him, not MVP or Lashley. Benjamin said Alexander will respect him and they will survive. Angel Garza defeats Drew Gulak in 2.25 minutes. Gulak gets some very brief offense in. One side win for Garza. Garza tosses the pants at Gulak and hits a bunch of drop kicks and wins with the wing clipper. Post-match, Garza sends the rose down the back of Gulak's tights, hits a running kick, and anyway, Riddle does some comedy with the Viking Raiders before approaching Orton. Orton wasn't playing along. Riddle knew he was getting serious, but excited that they were undefeated. Orton said He'd only done one match, but offered to have another one tonight. Riddle is happy about this. Riddle and Orton defeat Elias and Jackson Riker in 5.25 minutes. Heels work over Riddle. He hits a knee strike, tags in Orton. Elias cuts off Orton for a moment and drags him to the announce table, which is obviously not the best idea. Orton suplexes him on the table. Orton fights off Riker before setting up Elias for the draping DDT. Orton tags in Riddle, and then Orton gives Riker an RKO. Riddle lands a floating bro on Elias for the pinfall win, and they are now double at 2-0. Anyway, Braxton interviews McIntyre. McIntyre didn't care who won Lashley Strowman match tonight. He wanted them to beat each other up. McIntyre addressed Mason T-Bar. He then didn't understand why they took off their masks while keeping the stupid names. Good point. He planned on beating Lashley and winning the title. Strowman shows up and says that he would win. McIntyre told him that he would leave. He did. Sheamus defeats Mansoor 4 minutes 30 seconds. Sheamus is in control, drops Mansoor over the top to the barricade. Mansoor crawls back to the ring, avoids a countout. With Brooke calls a great whirlwind. Mansoor kicks Sheamus' leg and then hit Tornado DDT. Mansoor then going to the top. Sheamus cuts him off with the white noise. Sheamus sets up for the road kick. He's attacked by Carrillo for the DQ. Carrillo gives Sheamus suicide dive. Sheamus comes back, lays him out with a brogue kick. Sheamus gives Mansoor a brogue kick, and then we run away. Brooke refers to Sheamus as the gingerhead juggernaut at one point. Anyway, Alexis' playground. Lily apparently has a target for Bliss, but she wouldn't tell her who it was. Bliss sings a lullaby, which ends with Lily, what did you make me do? Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler with Reginald defeat Naomi and Lana to retain the Women's Tag Team Championships in 2 minutes. There's no reason to even put them in their gear for this. Lana seems to have Baszler pinned. Reginald comes in, creates a distraction. Baszler puts Lana in the Kikina clutch for the submission win. And BFT tells us there can only be one dominant bull, and he's the almighty Bobby Lashley. And then in our final segment, Bobby Lashley defeats Braun Strowman in the non-title match, 13.25 minutes. McIntyre enters to his music. Strowman clubs Lashley's chest. Strowman confronts McIntyre, which allows Lashley to knock him down. They go to break. McIntyre joins commentary after the break. Lashley's in control over Strowman for a while. Strowman slams Lashley with an electric chair. Drops. Strowman charges at Lashley outside the ring. Lashley dodges, and Strowman runs over McIntyre. Strowman and McIntyre shove each other. Strowman slips into the ring, but continues to argue with McIntyre, which allows Lashley to the spear for the win. McIntyre lays out them both with Claymore kick to close the show. Next week, Lashley faces McIntyre non-title because they have the creativity of literally people that have no brain function. Anyway, until next time, we'll be back with more right after this.